So I was thinking of this case, and I was thinking to myself, was there anybody in this little girl's life that was looking out for her? Or did literally every single person around her later become complicit in what happened to her? I don't understand. Now, we look at the various people around Summer. And look, her brothers have an excuse because they were part of this systematic, abusive, and just hellhole of a home. So they were affected massively by it. And don't make no bones about it. These boys will be emotionally affected by what was going on in that house. The things they saw, the things that they were subjected to. But that would have rendered them with an inability to really care for Summer. And it wasn't really their job too, even though Candace would have us believe that they were involved in the looking after Summer, keeping an eye on her. But look, then we look at the immediate parents. We look at Don and we look at Candace. And what was their impact on Summer? Well, it didn't seem to be a good one, did it? Because we know what the state of their house was if we're led to believe what Jose said. And I've got no reason to not believe what he said about some of the things that he said, because it matches a lot of the information that we know and have kind of been allowed to see through the eyes of social media. But look, let's make no bones about this as well. People like Jose didn't belong in Summer Wells' life and them boys. They didn't. They didn't belong to be there. Drugs didn't belong there. Alcohol didn't belong there in the manner with which it was. And this lifestyle that they were living, it wasn't a healthy lifestyle. These children deserve to be given love, attention, affection, food, warmth, all of those things that any normal family would give their children. And it would appear that they didn't get it. We watched Summer go from this to this in a matter of months. And that was paired up with photographs of her being put online on sites that have been heavily connected to the world of trafficking. And I'm not saying, look, 100% she was trafficked, because I am not in a position to say that. But what I can say is I'm 99.9% sure that in some way, shape or form that had a part to play in what happened to her. I don't get it. The mum was having the relationship she was with H. You have the things that we think was going on between the likes of Jose and Ali, and just this dramatic soap opera lifestyle that was always going to lead in a bad direction. There has been things said about Hunter's intentions towards Summer. Hunter was later proven to be lying for Candace. Candace had said that Summer would never wander off, something that Hunter himself in a Chris McDonough interview had supported. And then we later learned through Jose that was in fact a load of rubbish. So that proves that Hunter didn't have Summer's best interests at heart, he had Candace's best interests at heart. So it does then put a dark cloud over what Hunter's true intentions were towards Summer. Was Summer indeed the little sister? Or was there something much, much more sinister? And the downside is none of us can know for sure. And even though it's a horrible thing to think, we just don't know. We know that the likes of Ali have lied. She has seemingly lied to protect Hunter. She's made statements that you could almost question whether Summer was indeed laying on them milk cartons when they arrived at Ali's house, or whether she wasn't. Could Ali have even seen her from where she was sitting if she didn't approach the car? But to see what she was sitting on, and that she was indeed asleep from that distance, is questionable at best. But she was adamant, she was sure, and she went as far as saying that as far as she was aware, Summer could have been passed away when they arrived at the house, only to, in the same interview later, say 10 out of 10 she was still alive, when it seemingly helped to protect her son. There's been text messages online between Don and a close friend, and these text messages say that they don't trust Hunter, and that the stories, which they've pointed out quite rightfully, they don't match what Candace said. And there seems to be a trust issue between Don and Grandis. And we ultimately know that the last people to see Summer was Grandis, Candace and Hunter. We also know that Andrew Hiltz has connections to Hunter. Obviously, it's his dad. And he's got connections to Jose, and for a long time protected Jose. For what reason? What reason would he have to even try to seemingly protect him, and then to later on seemingly do completely the opposite? We also have a situation where Candace, too, again, Chris McDonough, says she didn't even know who Jose was. Don't know who he is. Just some small Mexican. Little Mexican? I don't know. But she don't know him. Don't know who he is. But he was actually there when Don was arrested, and they all stitched Don up and said about the gun in the car. The black powder gun. Don obviously kicked off about something that was seen that what actually happened was Don was working away in Utah, come home to find Jose in his house and blew his friggin' nut. Threw Candace to the floor, went crazy, left the property, came back, fell over, got arrested. And then it would seem that Jose made away before Don got back out. And this was when Candace then left and then returned and got bought a new truck. Think about that. Man's in your house with your wife or girlfriend, with the mother of your children at least. You come home, find them, there's enough to cause a huge ruckus. You get arrested. That person then leaves. Your wife is left. Girlfriend, mother of your children at least. And then you have to buy her a truck for her to come back. So many stories around this little girl, and you just think, what chances did she have? Her grandma, what can her grandma tell you? She can tell you that her favourite sweets were peppermint candy. They don't seem to be able to get what her music was like, what her favourite song was. I've seen anything from Gorillaz to Justin Bieber. And I just can't get this picture out of my head of watching this little girl go from this to this, to where we are today.